Hey, what's happening, everybody? Keep almost full color, and today I have a game I've been dying for you all to see. And dying is kind of poetic when you think about this game. And this game is brought to us by Supergiant. They brought us Bastion, they brought us Transistor, and now they're bringing us a brand new game. And that game is called I Almost Had It Timed Perfectly Right. I almost did, but this is Hades. This is a great game, and as you may have already guessed, it does have some Greek background to it. So you start off as Zagreus. Well, you only are Zagreus throughout this game, and the only thing you want to do is get out of Hades. That's it. And in order to get out, you're going to need some help from outside, but also from within. So you have this hub, and through this hub, you're able to learn more about the story if that's what you want to do. But to be honest with you, you don't even have to go through this hub and deal with the individuals here. But if you do want to learn more about the story and about the world that exists here, talking to individuals like Achilles and Hypnos are definitely the way to go doing that. Also, it's great to talk to these individuals and deal with your hub because you can get some really great things on your runs. For instance, you can go and you can gift what's known as nectar to your individuals, your allies here, and through that they will ultimately give you some nice little boons and things of that nature. Now, moving on from this area, you also have your bedroom, which is going to be a great way to also figure out ways to level your character through your magic mirror of the night. That's right, your magic mirror of the night is going to be a place where you can spend darkness, which you collect on your runs, and you can spend that to get permanent buffs for you. That Death Defiance is, pro tip, very clutch. You're going to need that for your runs. Now you have so many other ones that you can get, and through gathering darkness and keys, you can upgrade this a ton. But this isn't the only place that you can get little upgrades for yourself. Well, that's the only place you can really get them for yourself per se. You can also come right here to the renovation table, and you can make renovations to Hades, to Hell. You can make these renovations, and these renovations will pay off greatly, as in those renovations that happen when you get upon a room that you've renovated, give you a breath of fresh air, abilities to heal yourself, chill out for a moment, and gather yourself. But without further ado, let's really get to this gameplay, all right? We've talked about the story, which is dope. By the way, this isn't really a review as much as it is me trying to sell you on this game. And as we see here, we have our friend Skelly here. And we're going to give him a little something. And in return, he's giving us his lucky tooth, alright? We couldn't do without that. Now, these keepsakes, as we call them, that we get from our allies are stored right in here. And you can only equip one, but you can level them up over time. So keep getting them, fighting with them, leveling them up. They'll go from, something very small to something dope. And the lucky tooth does... We get 50 points. Our life is depleted. Okay. Well, there you have that. Here we have our arsenal. Right here, you can take one weapon, and one weapon will be taken for your entire run, alright? So, we can pick whatever you want. They're all very different in terms of style of play. The sword is what you'll start with, and, it's cool. Like, it's alright. It's alright. The spear is pretty dope. It's a good... not range but range. I mean, you can also hit somebody from range with it, and when you call it back, it also does damage as well. You get a little bit of distance. You're still a little exposed to enemies. The shield, up close and personal, it's dirty with this, but you also do have some pretty good ranged attacks with this one. Oh, did not mean to go into that just yet. I was getting ahead of myself. The bow is what I will call probably the most advanced one. It's the highest highest risk reward. I would say. It's the bow has got me in trouble, but it's helped me a lot at times. It's great burst damage, and I just don't know how I feel about the bow in general. The hands are the best DPS in here, but of course they're hands. You need to be right in the enemy's face, and yeah, that could be really bad. And we have a gun. I mean, shit wouldn't be cool without a gun, right? This probably is the most fun weapon of them all to me, but that's that, and we're not gonna drag that out any longer. But as you see, you have tons of weapons. You have an equip slot right here that you can take on your runs. And I reviewed a game called 20XX not too long ago, and this functions just like that, okay? So you're gonna make your run through there. If you die, you come back to the beginning. So you need to live throughout your whole run to get to the end, and that's that, all right? As you go through the story and as you die enough times, as you see I've died enough times, it's messy. But you start to get more and more of the story. You start to hear more and more why Hades doesn't really seem to care and like why you're trying to escape. Like he's just like, yo, you shouldn't do this, bro. But he's all in all like, I don't care. Now, like I said, you're gonna need some help from outside to get up to. What you're looking for is you're looking to get to Olympus. That's the goal. I want to get to Olympus. I want to chill with the fam up there, and your family is willing to help you get to those pearly gates. Wow. All right. So that's pretty. It was good, but not good. Anyways, so yeah, your family is trying to help you get to the promised land, and that's really cool. But also, there may be some hidden story to that. Now, we may find some throughout this run, but there are golden little dots. They're very small, but we may find them on our run. And those golden dots happen to have a narrator kind of tell a little bit more, but Zagreus kind of has the ability to hear the guy, so it is quite weird. Now, when you finish an encounter, sometimes you'll have the ability to go one of two ways throughout the Tartarus here. You just pick a way to go, and you'll end up learning what these icons are through your runs. Over here is a centaur heart. We'd get plus 25 to our health permanently. Over here is a heart. I don't think I need to tell you who the heart belongs to. But you pick which one, you'll do the encounter. As you see, I hit him with a Shoryuken, he died. Like that, that's all there is. Like I said, these hands are the best DPS, but you do have to, you gotta get in there. You gotta just get in there and get money. But Shoryuken, and it is none other than the Aphrodite.
Didn't he?
One thing I absolutely love about this game is the voice acting. When I first heard it, it kind of reminded me of Castlevania type stuff. And I was like, I don't know. I liked it, but I was hoping it wasn't rip-offy, and it is not rip-offy. It does have its own swag to it. So it's amazing. Like, your character, Zagreus, is quite dope. From here, after you complete a room, you're able to pick a boon. So, like you just saw with Poseidon, he offered us a boon. We took it. Aphrodite is now offering us a boon, and that's what happens when you choose which path you wanted to take. And from there, you're going to end up learning what boons you like and what boons you don't like, and that sort of thing. Also, you'll end up learning that, depending on your run, what is it that you're prioritizing? Are you prioritizing keys at this time? Is that the thing that you really need to level up whatever it is you need to level up? Or do you need the darkness for your personal level ups? It all is going to be relative to your run and what you're looking to do with that run, which is giving this game a hell of a lot of replay value in terms of just, hey, like, I wanted to run with the sword and to do things with the sword, and I wanted to run with this to do this. So we're back, we're going through it, and what did we just do? Then we chose darkness. I didn't choose it for any real reason. I just chose it just to choose it. But we're still going, still moving. Now, a quick pro tip as we enter this room. Daedalus is the boon path I've chosen for this one, and Daedalus is probably one of the most clutch boons that you can get, mainly because that boon, or the boon that Daedalus will offer most times, will have a direct impact on the weapon that you're using itself. So the weapon itself will be affected, predominantly. So as we see, we come here, we can special slays foes, we get back 2% of health. That's pretty clutch. Special becomes a flying kick. That's pretty dope. And a dash strike, which is what happened when we, hit the dash button and go. We're gonna jump kick people. That's the type of guy I am right now. So as you see, we were doing Shoryuken, so now we're flash kicking people. All right. Now we've turned into Guile from Street Fighter. We went from Ryu to Guile, just like that. Boom. So I didn't really show it off too much, but you have pretty much 2 different modes of attack. Well, you have more than 2. So your first is your standard attack, which is just this barrage of punches. Your second is your special, which is the Guile Flash Kick. Next up, you'll be able to dash and immediately punch. So you see how he comes with that little right hook, boom, boom. That's your dash strike. Afterwards, you have what is known as a cast. Your cast is just like kind of like a magical melee that you can throw. So I'll throw it right now, as I took that from Aphrodite. And as you see, it was just that little wave. Now, normally it just shoots out at people in its base form. If you do accept a boon, that boon will then transform it into something else. So for Aphrodite, it makes foes weak, and it allows them to be more susceptible to damage. So pretty much those are the main ways. You can also get something else, and these things aren't guaranteed on runs. Like, you're not always going to get this on a run. You have a good chance at it if you live long enough through the run. But the other thing you can get is an ultimate, and that ultimate is normally tied to whatever god that you chose to get that ultimate from. And hopefully we can get that from Zeus right now. Although I prefer Aphrodite's ult the best. Zeus is the most rare to ever come out, rightfully so. Like, it seems like his boons are the strongest, but I don't normally, you know, deal with that. You also can get boons that upgrade your dash, and your dash will be able to do damage as well, offering you another way to DPS. And if you get a dash with someone like, I don't know, Dionysus, who gives people hangovers, then, I mean, pretty fire. And what we're gonna do right here is we're actually gonna take it for our special. So not only are we flying kicking people now, like such, we are also causing electric damage. Pretty dope. Another thing to look out for in these rooms are these pots right here. Now, I put in a renovation to have these gold pots put in random rooms. You don't know where you're gonna get it, but pop that bad boy open and you get some extra gold. You probably can't see it because I'm too much in the way, but down like behind me, you see that little pot of nectar right there? Right there, we have a lot of the items that, you know, we're looking for, and it's a good way to just keep track of, hey, you know, how am I looking on darkness? How am I looking on keys? And when you're going through your runs, you can really prioritize, hey, where am I doing? And also, when you're doing these runs, you don't have like a set amount of time to pick which route. You know, you can't sit there and mull it over if you need to. Alright, where are we at? What are we doing? Some of the enemies are a little hard to see at times. It's tough. Oh, there you are. There.
What do we have here? I'll hang on to these.
Now, we'll get this from time to time. This is the Descent. This is another part of the story that begins to unfold and is quite weird, and I don't know if I should be doing all this, but hey, we're gonna give a gift.
This is for you, Master Chaos. Everyone beneath the heavens and earth enjoy.
Such an offering, but please, it is not necessary to endear yourself using material means. It is the thought alone which counts.
Alright, creepo. Now, the Chaos ends up offering us boons that will give us a negative effect, but after X amount of encounters, and when they say encounters, they mean rooms, after you go into so many rooms, you will then end up getting the positive effect. So, we can face more foes and get more damage. We can Inferno bombs. Total lives reduced by 27. You know what? We'll take the 50 more opponents and do that. All right, now we have a choice of extra health, or we can upgrade one of our boons. So if you see this little weird pomegranate-looking fruit, that thing will help us do that.
You think you can just walk away?
I hate
from
these
here?
rooms. Hades will. It's funny in a way because he says like he doesn't care if you're trying to like leave, like do whatever you want, but then like he sends these fuckers to try to take you out. Anyways, some of the rooms operate like this to where it's not necessarily kill everything. It's more so, okay, like, hey, you need to live for this long, and you can play however you want. One thing about this game is that it, for the most part, you can approach this however you want. The game at times is going to force you into a, you need to play fast, or you need to be patient and play slow. But for the most part, it does allow you to, hey, you know, do what you want. Like, I'm not really gonna force you to act outside of your means. However, you know, like I said, there will be times where playing fast and playing slow will be a thing that you're forced into. We got a pomegranate fruit, which is power up. It will allow us to level up one of the boons that we got in level itself. So you can level it and then you can rarefy it. We probably won't get that on this run, but there is a way to also make them a little more potent through means of making them a different rarity. So when I say level 1, level 2, level 3, that's what the pomegranate fruit does. You know, the level 1, level 2, level 3. If we're talking rarity, however, we're talking common, rare, exotic, that type deal. So I mean, you can make them a more rare thing, which will give them more benefits in the end, or you can do that. Now we have our good friend Sharon. Sharon, you all may know, the Farrier of Death and all of that. He also ferries us items in here, and pretty dope. So you can just come in here and just see his wares, and you know, you purchase something for the man, from the man. You know, get you some good wares. But that's not what we're here for right now, because we don't got the money. That's another thing. Depending on your run and how you want it to go, you may want to spec into getting money. So then when you do see young Sharon selling his I'm probably butchering the hell out of his name. Once you hit the last portion of this, you will hit a boss. So once you'll know that you've hit the last room in this section of hell when you hit the boss. So when you hit the boss, you're like, okay, cool, I've cleared this section of hell. And the boss normally has a high value drop. But if you clear it with a weapon, let's say you go through with the shield and you get that high value drop from that boss, you can no longer get it with the shield. You would have to then change weapons to get it with another weapon. So it tries to encourage you to use all the weapons to get those high value drops. But I mean, there's nothing against you using the shield over and over and over if that's your game. So these bosses they're cool. They're cool. I did struggle with a few of them, like at onset, it was like, God, like what the world. But I mean, once you get hip to it, you know what I'm saying. Once you get your swagger down, it's nothing. I don't even know if we got our Tarkus buff right now, because I feel like if I had it, I would crush the soul right now. But wait, who do we have here? Lecter. I think we're fighting Lecter right now, and she's kind of annoying. She's the most annoying of the Furies for me. Symphony is actually quite easy, and so is Meg. So yeah, Electa is probably like the worst for me personally. I'm actually shocked I'm not dying. And that's mainly for this part right here, where she goes in rage, and then she's gonna start launching them little spinning discs all over the place. But this is where some of the other boons that will come in are hella handy. Athena's Athena a lot of times will allow you to Athena a lot of times is going to allow you to deflect. So Athena, you know, Athena's shield is going to allow you just to deflect everything. So you can just start deflecting stuff and just be done with it. But it doesn't offer a lot in terms of DPS, whereas, you know, Ares is going to allow you a lot of DPS options. And that's another great part to this. You can definitely mix and match your boons that you get from the gods, and really see which set of gods' boons that you really like to work with one another. I love the Dionysus Ares combo. That is my jam. Like that Dionysus Ares, you can make them hungover and then just be destroying them with Ares dots and whatnot, and also making them hangover puts a dot on them as well. It's really crazy. The only other thing I can say about this game is, well, if you play it docked, you're not going to have it too much, but if you're playing it handheld, there are some crazy things that can occur. You'll get like a lot of ads on screen, and it will just go nuts in terms of if you're doing too much. Like, there was a time I had lightning bolts coming from the sky, I had Poseidon's water coming down, I had dots on people through Dionysus, I had Ares stuff going, and through that, I think it was a little much for the Switch to handle. Although, you know, the game doesn't look, you know, as as if it would be too much to handle, but I think just with all that, all the enemies who have it, all these status effects that I was putting down, get out the neck. There are elemental things to worry about. With all that, the Switch did have a little bit of issue with that, but that was only when I played it handheld, really. I can't say I've had that too much in terms of playing it docked. Playing it docked is pretty much one of those things that I really like. If we actually look at our boons right now, so we see that attached to our special is Thunder Flourish, so that's attached to it. If we go to another god and take a boon that is a special based boon, is going to overwrite this. We won't be able to, have Thunder Flourish and another one at the same time. You're going to have to, pick one or the other. It's going to take the place of that. The same thing with your cast and with your attack as well, and also with your call. Now, however, there are other like support boons that you can get, like Greatest Reflex. It allows you to dash more. So ultimately, that doesn't really take the effect too much of anything. And you can see in the far left column, those are the permanent ones. So if you get some that overrides that far left column, then, no good. But to the right, your support ones, you can get as many support ones as you pretty much could. And if you die on your run, you will see there's no escape pop up on the screen, and then you will come back. So you will come back to the very beginning, started at, and there you could talk to some of your allies that exist here. You can listen in to what's happening if you want to really know about the story, but it's not hyper necessary for you to do that. You can come in and talk to people, whatever it is that you're looking to do in your hub to progress the story. If you just want to get right back to it, you can just literally just run in here and go right back to it. It doesn't force you to progress the story really like that, so it's a really great thing for those who just want a fun dungeon crawler that, hey, I'm just trying to climb this tower. Or, if you want to just experience the story and look for the lore that exists within the game, that's also really fun too. But with that being said, I highly recommend this game. It's been so much fun. It's taken up a lot of my time. It's been a great blast to play, and especially after that last filthy game I played that I reviewed on here. I needed something fresh, something new, and this is definitely that. So thank you, Supergiant, for putting this game out. Amazing. Game is dope. Go grab it. I think it's $24 on the Nintendo store, but you can also cop it off Steam too if you're on PC and you can play it in 4K, which I heard is nuts. So I'm playing at 1080p, but they say on 4K this game looks like the bee's knees. So that being said, I've talked too much about this game. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, hit the notification button. As usual, I hope this finds you in great health. Peace, be easy, be blessed.